Hey, Dave Sheehan here, and welcome to our Week 1 Coaching Call 1 of Metabolic Stimulation System, our 6-week coaching program. And it's a pleasure to have you here with me and with people from all over the world. And it shows again that you're serious about getting in the best shape of your life, experiencing optimal health, and importantly, creating a lifestyle that you can follow easily and easily maintain forever. Because again, that's what I teach. I'm very passionate about teaching people not just achieving fast results, because I know everyone wants it fast, but most importantly, how to maintain easily. And over the next 6 weeks, you're going to learn a hell of a lot of information. You're going to learn everything you need to know about creating a positive success mindset, everything you need to know about effective exercise, everything you need to know about nutrition, and also about sleep, and just overall how to put that together so you can experience optimal health, you can achieve the body of your dreams, and the important word there is your, because we're all different. It's like with the picture that's on the screen right now. If you're a guy, maybe you want to look like that, maybe you want to look more extreme, or maybe you want a bit more padding. You know, who knows? Same to female. Maybe you want to be a bit more ripped, or maybe you want to be a bit more curvy than this lady. It's all what you want, okay? And that's what's important, is you are at a certain point right now, you look a certain way, you feel a certain way. I want to work with you over the next 6 weeks to get to where you want to be. And it's different for everybody, okay? And I'm going to be on this first coaching call going over a few things about being part of the program, few reminders, and also sharing with you again my purpose in writing this book, giving you a bit of introduction to it, what it'll be about, and also telling you a bit more about my story. And then we're going to get into this chapter 1 then of mindset, which is the first section of the book. So we're going to cover the first kind of 3 chapters: the preface, the introduction, the story, and section 1, chapter 1 of mindset. Okay. First of all, I want to just stress to you or remind you, you should have got access by now of how to get access to Dave Sheehan Home Workout System. You have to access all of that, and also Go Vegan Grow. So make sure you're checking out these valuable resources. Again, you've got loads of workouts, you've got loads of recipes, you've got loads of educational videos. So make use of these resources. Remember, like, you've invested in this program, which is the first important step. The next step is following these coaching calls, which you're watching right now, which is fantastic. But also, why not use all the different resources? I put the package together in terms of what you got for your investment, because every single piece was important. And when you use all of them, you're going to really achieve fantastic results. And I'm leading again with education. Education is the key. The way I work with clients, and have always done for over 20 years now, is to educate them in the why of everything that they do. I don't just tell people what to do. I tell them what needs to be done, but importantly explain the why. Okay? Because if you don't understand the why, what happens is you'll do it for a little while and then you'll fall off the wagon because you just get lazy with it, and then you get back on again with something else, and you're on and off, on and off. And this is the problem with yo-yoing, diets, detoxes, different systems are out there. People don't really know why they're doing things. They don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to follow something they're being told to do. I'm going to tell you what to do, but I'm also going to explain it so you fully understand. Okay? And what's important in these coaching calls is that, if you're watching these live, use the chat box, put questions in, put comments in, let me know how you're going, let me know if you're enjoying it, give me feedback, because these calls are for you. While I have a bit of a set system and process in them and a plan, it can go anywhere, because my goal is to give you whatever you can. Okay, it's like for some people who weren't able to make this particular call, they've sent me in some Snapchats and Instagram messages and stuff like that I'm going to be able to answer on this. So when you watch the replay, they'll be able to get the information that they need. And for anyone who's here watching this as a replay, like many of you are going to be, if you've got questions, put them as a comment below this particular video on this webpage, or shoot us a message to support, and we can answer it for you very promptly. Because remember, we're here to support you in every way we can for these next 6 weeks. All that okay? Everything clear, guys? Again, let me know in the chat box. Again, all the time that audio is good. You can hear me. It's making sense, because remember, I'm here to serve you as much as I possibly can. Okay? So make use of those resources that you've got, the Dave Sheehan Home Workout System and Go Vegan Grow. Also, make sure that you book in your coaching call. Remember, you've got a coaching call, and that's one of the most valuable parts of the whole package. You have to get one-to-one coaching time with me. And it's up to you. Like I said in our Kickstart call, it's up to you to contact me over it. I'll give you a few gentle reminders like this in coaching calls, but it's up to you to contact me and let me know when and what time suits you, and we'll book it in. Okay? And you have, in the 6 weeks, your time to use it. Make sure you're part of the group, that I have on the screen right now. If you're not, send us a request. Again, you would have got details of all the different social medias, so make sure that you're connected with us across all the social medias. Again, I share a lot of stuff on Snapchat and Instagram story, especially sharing with you my entire day, so you can see what I personally do, and hopefully, again, that inspires you to, keep improving in your own lifestyle. And we just keep you updated of events that we'll be holding this year and next year, and you can then decide how you want to use your ticket for metabolic stimulation system. Okay, and just again, get engaged in these coaching calls. Make sure you attend them live where possible, and if you don't get to attend it live, make sure you watch the recording, as you may be doing right now. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense to you guys. As I said, we're here to answer your questions. We're going to start right now. I'm going to just go into the preface of the book, which is basically explain to you again, what's the purpose of me doing it? Why did I write this book? I'm just going to share a little bit with you. So as I said, these calls is about me walking you through the book. And if you have it in your hand right now, fantastic, depending on when you're watching this. Just work through it with me, and I'm going to share different parts of it and explain it and things like that. I started off in 2010. I published 6 weeks to cover model body. And it was my first hardcover book, and it was a real learning experience for me. But it was something I was very passionate about doing, because I had my own personal journey, which I'll share with you when I come to my story in a little while. But I was very passionate about doing it, and it was, a lot of work, a lot of time, but it was so beneficial, and it's been so beneficial since 2010 when I wrote the book, to see the impact it's made on hundreds, if not thousands, of people all over the world who followed the program, who bought the book. The book itself ended up turning into a boot camp business where I was putting people through the program. So through the 6-week program that the book entailed, and we had them in Limerick, also did them abroad, did them in Scotland, did some in America, I even did some on a cruise ship in the Caribbean. So, people all over the world were getting the benefits of my 6 weeks Cover Model Body book and program, and from my own personal story. It was really exciting. It was exciting as well for me to be able to take on different staff who were able to experience the program, experience teaching it, and many of the people who worked with me on camps that I held around the world are now running successfully their own fitness businesses. And that for me is massive. I'm very passionate about inspiring people and motivating people and educating them, and I love people who take a risk and take the jump themselves to run their own business. And when you've got your own story and your own experience, you have a lot of power to impact other people. And that's where the book came from in the first place. And I was quite reluctant in some ways, because I did have to share a lot about my own personal story, my own personal journey. And we all question as well, do we really have much to teach people? Don't people already know it all? Don't people already have access to it all over the internet? But what I realized in writing the book, and what I realized in the reaction I got to it, is that we're all different. And even in such a competitive niche like fitness and body transformation and health, that so many people can benefit from my personal story and my personal experience and my personal methods and strategies. And what's really great is that for most of my life, I've embraced the Kaizen method of learning, which means constant and never-ending. And something I really encourage you to do, both in this type of material, like how to improve your health, and that's, again, part of why you invested in metabolic stimulation system. You wanted to better yourself. You wanted to learn more. You want to learn what really works and the top strategies and the most scientific principles are out there. And for me, that's always been the case. Since, I got into fitness at the age of 17, I've had the Kaizen method of learning, and I've always wanted to learn more. I've always wanted to know the top strategies, both for myself and also for my clients and anyone that I work with, and then my coaches then as well. So why did I decide to write metabolic stimulation then? Was 6 weeks Cover Model Body in 2010 not the be-all and end-all? Was that not the ultimate transformation book? Well, at the time in my life and in my knowledge base, it was. But now, this is 6 years later, in 2016, as I'm recording this, I coach people very differently now. My mindset training is quite different. There's a couple of different slants in it. My exercise is very, very different. There's a couple of the same principles, but remember, I've 6 years of added knowledge, 6 years of every single day researching, using myself as a guinea pig, working with clients as guinea pigs, interviewing top experts around the world in health and body transformation and fat loss and muscle building, all those areas. So I'm armed with so much more knowledge, and sleep is an area that I've really developed a huge understanding on. Hydration and the importance of water. These are just a couple of the key areas that I'm armed with so much knowledge now that I spent a couple of years really studying in depth, and that's what metabolic system is bringing to you. So what will metabolic system do for you versus 6 weeks cover model body? It's going to get you much faster results. It's going to also have a much greater focus on long-term results. I don't mean in terms of keeping them, because what people learn in 6 weeks cover model body, they'll keep the results, but I put a huge focus on regaining control of your body, your mind, and your health, and teaching you this time very step by step on how to maintain and how to easily maintain, because it's the one area people really struggle in. And I wanted with metabolic stimulation system to not only give you, an updated body transformation program and strategies, but also to give you an in-depth step-by-step plan of how to maintain, how to easily maintain. Because for many people, that's where they struggle. There's many great programs out there. There's a lot of rubbish out there too. But if people follow a proper program, scientifically proven, and one that's led by a person who's genuine and wants to help and coming from the right place, they will get results. But it's how do you keep it? That's what's really key. Okay? And also, in the last 6 years, the internet has grown and grown and grown. And there's become so much influence now by supposed inverted commas experts, and especially again the fitness and health and weight loss and fat loss and body transformation niche. There's so many experts out there now. There's so many websites out there now. So many blogs out there now. YouTube channels, books, systems, home workouts. There's so much stuff out there. Detoxes, weight loss pills, fat burning pills, protein shakes. The supplement industry has boomed in the last 6 years. There's more confusion than ever. And this is the crazy thing, that at a time when it should be a case of people not having so much confusion because, there's so much information out there, what's happened is people are even more confused. People don't know where to turn. People have no idea what they should do because there's so much out there. And there's so much conflicting knowledge out there as well. And that was a big motivation for me in writing Metabolic Stimulation System and creating the 6-week program, because I wanted to address that. I want to address the issue of confusion and to lay out clearly exactly what you need to do and why you need to do it. As I said to start of this call, education is very important to me because I want you to know what you're doing, and that will give you such more impetus to follow through and to do what you're supposed to do to get the best results. And I want to educate you in how and why with maintenance. So, I know this is an incredible product, an incredible book. I know it's going to help you enormously. But what's key is that you focus on taking the steps. You need to digest what I teach you throughout the book. You need to digest what I teach you throughout this program. And you need to importantly put into action. Because remember, knowledge is not power. It's the implementation of knowledge that's power. Okay? Action. Action is what counts. All right? And this is why there's a lot of people who know a lot of stuff, but they don't actually get the results they should. All right, so I'm really excited for you, and I personally wish I held this book in my hands at the age of 17 when I needed to get into shape and experience all the benefits that are going to come from this. So I hope that you're ready for this. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go into the introduction now, and I'm going to share my personal story about how to transform my own personal body, my body, and regaining control of my body, mind, and health. How that positively impacted my life, and how it changed it forever. And how becoming a Body for Life champion, that was in 2004. That was a massive turning point for me. And I really do hope that my personal journey, it does inspire you, and that it, makes an impact in you, and that you can relate to some parts of it. Because, if you do, I know it's going to spark you on to achieve amazing results yourself. We all just need hope. We need hope. We need to spark. We need to feel that this is possible. And I hope that, in what I share with you, even in the first few chapters in the introduction, are going to give you that hope. But just remember, you need to follow through. If you're not following through, you're not going to get the results you should. Okay? So it's really crucial that you follow through and take massive action. So are you ready? Are you ready to do this? Are you ready to take massive action? Are you ready to transform your body, mind, and health forever? Again, if you're watching this live, let me know in the chat box. Type it in. Again, I want to get interaction going here. If you're watching this a replay, interact as well. Type questions and comments below this video. Okay? Because it's important for me to know how serious you are. And important for me to know that, you truly do want to learn how to easily maintain a new body shape and, importantly, a lifestyle. And what's key is that, you do yourself and you do me a big, huge favor in following through and applying everything I teach you at Metabolic Stimulation System. I don't want you letting the book gather dust on a shelf, and I don't want all this information I'm going to share with you, all these tools I'm going to share with you, I don't want them just being parked at the back of your brain and never being implemented. So what's key is that right now, you promise yourself that you're going to do it. Promise yourself right now. And again, if you're watching this live, type into the chat box, are you going to promise yourself right now that you're going to take action, follow through on everything that I teach? Type it in there. Just type a why you're in. And as I said, if you're watching this recording, type it in as a comment under the video. I'm just going to get some water. Now, I can't stress enough to you guys just how important, getting control of your body, mind, and health is. It truly is something that will impact your life more than anything else. I stress it to people a lot, and in this book now, a lot more so than my previous book, I'll be going into that in a lot of different sections, just how important it is. Okay? So, if we're going to go into the introduction now, that was a lot to do with the preface and why I wrote it, but the key thing is, right now when you look in the mirror, how do you feel? Do you hate what looks back at you? Do you feel comfortable with what looks back at you? Do you wish it was much better? Because, I'm not asking you this in a bad way or in an insulting way. It's just important. It's important that when you look in the mirror, just like if I look in the mirror, it's important what looks back at us, a reflection, that we're comfortable with it. There's nothing more important than you loving yourself, okay? If you love yourself, you're truly content in yourself and you feel happy within yourself. And that opens up doors to everything. Now, the reality is, if you regain control of your body, mind, and health, it impacts every single area of your life. It has a positive impact on your relationships, on what you achieve in your professional life, and on what you achieve in terms of your ability to create wealth. Professional life, wealth tend to go together, but it's all about positive energy. And if you're hating yourself, if you don't like the way you look, it has a huge impact on your confidence, your self-esteem, your self-image, and that then obviously is going to have a huge impact on your results in every single area of your life. And for most people, what really frustrates them is, especially if they're exercising consistently, but whether you are or not, is that for most people, there's a stubborn layer of fat that's on their midsection. And no matter what they tend to do, whether it be diets, detoxes, exercising like a lunatic, no matter what amount of sweat, sacrifice, and pain they put themselves through, no matter how much energy they put in or how much money they invest in trainers and gyms and classes and systems and detoxes and DVDs and everything, that stubborn layer of fat stays. And people are really sick of it. And so sick of putting that time into it. And as I said earlier on, we're in an age where there's so much information out there, which should be a huge positive, but it's actually a negative. Because out of all information that's out there, there's probably 80% of it is complete rubbish, complete garbage, no scientific basis, and bottom line, doesn't work. And people are being led a merry dance as to what does work. They're being sold all these types of weight loss plans and, miracle pills and all these different things, and they're investing so much money, so much time, so much energy, and they're getting absolutely nowhere. And this is what's frustrating. This is, again, it was a big motivation for me in writing this book, because I want to give you everything you need. I said as I promoted this book that this will be the most comprehensive step-by-step plan and educational tool, importantly, for not just transforming your body, but your mind and your health and ultimately your life. It is probably going to be for me, it will be the most important book you ever read, because there are books out there that will increase your wealth. There are books out there that will give you great strategies for marketing and business success. There's books out there for relationships. But if you don't feel good within yourself, if you're not happy within yourself, you're not going to achieve anything like what you could in each of those areas. It's like if you're a millionaire right now, but you don't like yourself, you don't have self-confidence and self-esteem and a positive self-image, if you rectify that and you get in better shape and get to where you'd like to get, I can guarantee you can become a billionaire. But until you do, you can't get to become a billionaire. Does that make sense? So, living a full life, a fulfilling life, a vibrant life, it really does start with having control of your body, mind, and health. And I'm 100% certain and passionate, and I know from my own experience that regaining control of your body, mind, and health is the most important thing you can do in your life. And your life really does start from that point. And the metabolic stimulation system is the solution you've been searching for. Now the thing is, you've heard this a million times. You hear it in infomercials, you see it in books, you see it in magazines, you hear it off trainers and gyms and everything that, they have the solution. But the thing is, this time it's very different. And, how can I say it's different? Because like I said, it's going to be the most comprehensive step-by-step plan you're ever going to read. And I don't just tell you what to do, I explain to you why to do it. That is the biggest difference. You're going to understand exactly what you need to do step by step. Okay? And once you follow it step by step, you're going to achieve an incredible transformation. And for you, that transformation will have a certain level. Some might want a six-pack. Some might want 5% body fat. Some might want 10% body fat. Some might be happy with 15% body fat. Some might be happy to get to 34-inch waist pair of jeans. Some might want to get a 28-inch. It doesn't matter. It's wherever you want to get to. This is what this book will do. It will get you to where you want to get to. And, while my promises about what this is going to do might sound too good to be true, and I don't blame you that you feel this way, because I'd feel the same way if, I had in reality been lied to by so many different people and lied to by the whole weight loss industry and fitness industry and supplement industry. And I myself, when I first started out, had many, many years where I was frustrated and I was killing myself in the gym, doing hours of exercise and not getting anywhere and following what was supposedly healthy and getting minimal improvement. So I've been there, and this is why I can empathize with you as well, because I've been there, I've done that, and this is why I feel I'm in the right place to be your coach, to work you through the system, to teach you how to regain control of your body, mind, and health, because I've already done it, and I've lived a good life in terms of having control of my body, mind, and health for many years now. As I said a little while ago, becoming a Body for Life champion was a huge turning point in my life, and writing 6 Weeks Core Model Body was a very big milestone for me too. But this is 6 years later. I know so much more. I'm going to help you get results way faster and maintain them way easier. I learned when I first got into fitness at the age of 17. As I said, I used to train like a lunatic and eat what I thought was healthy, and I used to suck up the information I was being told by people in the gym. But I wasn't getting the results I wanted. And also at the time I was getting into becoming a fitness instructor, because I knew straight away once I got in the gym and I loved it and I never got out of it, I knew it was the career I needed to get into. And I've always been a driven type person. So I decided I wanted to be number one. Being number one was it. So because I was getting such little results and it was frustrating for me, I started doing in-depth research and using my body as a guinea pig. And then when I had some clients, I started to use it on them as well. And just to find what worked. This is where 2004 was huge for me, because I got into teaching and instructing and working on my own body in about 1995. So after a number of years of frustration and then probably about 4 or 5 years of intense research and implementation, that's when I became Body for Life champion, 2004. And it was proof that I knew what I was on about. I decided to do the competition because I felt a bit of a phony, that I wasn't in my best shape. I didn't have the top confidence I should have. I didn't have proper self-esteem. And there I was trying to teach people how to achieve that. And I've always said I want to be the best. And I need to be a role model. This is where the weight loss industry falls down. There's so many trainers out there, they're not true role models. Some may aesthetically look good, but they don't live good lives. They don't live healthy lives. And, this is what needs to be taught to people. Normal people who that's what they want. They want to feel good and look good in themselves, and they want to be able to easily maintain it. So that's what took me to study it so much. So in 2004, when I was announced as Body for Life champion, that was a result of me implementing everything I'd learned and looking at my body and deciding what did I need to do? What did I need to do to win? Looking at what other winners had done from previous years. Made a decision, decided my training program, decided my nutrition program, and I gave it everything I possibly could. And as I said, when I was announced as champion, not only was it a personal achievement for me and personal satisfaction, it was also massive for me professionally, because I truly then felt in my heart and soul and my gut I was a true role model. And my career went from strength to strength as a result. And since then, since 2004, I've worked with literally thousands and thousands of people all over the world, both offline for most of it, and then for the last 6-7 years online, which has been amazing. It's opened up the whole world to me. So I have clients all over the world, whether it be in New Zealand, Hawaii, Canada, Brazil, parts of Europe, Ireland, where I'm from. It's been amazing. And what's been most satisfying for me is not only the results that they have achieved and the fast transformations, but the impact it's had in their whole lives. There's nothing more satisfying for me than seeing the proof that when someone regains body, mind and health, regains the control of it, that the rest of their life takes off. And so many of my clients have ended up starting their own businesses, improving their relationships, or getting out of toxic ones and creating new wonderful ones, generating massive wealth, generating the freedom and creating the freedom that they want, having time for their kids. It all comes from regaining control of your body, mind and health. And I cannot stress to you enough the importance of it. I'm going to say it many times on our calls, and I say it many, many times in the book, because it's one of the most important points that needs to be stressed to the modern world, because we live in such a fast-paced world right now. Everyone's just driven by professional success and money. That's all that drives people. And it's so fast, people don't even stop to think. They don't realize that they're letting their own body suffer, their own mind suffer, and their health suffer. And they're just pushing on and on and on. They don't even celebrate successes. It's like they achieve a success, they're on to the next one. So this is where if you can regain control of your body, mind, and health, it gives you a whole different perspective. It makes you think about things a lot differently. And it will also, in your success, in achieving the results, you will have an impact on other people, because you're naturally going to inspire others. When they watch your transformation happening, they're going to want to do it. They're going to know what you did, and the new you, the new positive outlook, the new positive energy from you is going to be infectious. And there's no greater satisfaction than having an impact on other people, a positive impact. And for some of you who are on the call and who are in the program, you might be in careers right now where you're doing that. Just think about how satisfying it is. It's huge. So again, one of my big inspirations was to stop you wasting your time, wasting your energy, wasting your hard-earned money. And I can tell you hand in heart, Metabolic Stimulation System is the program that is your solution. It is the solution for anyone. It doesn't matter what shape, size, age, background, what goals you might have, what limitations you might have. If you've got injuries, whoever you are, if you implement the strategies that I share, I can guarantee you're going to get the results. I can guarantee you 100%. What's key is that you commit to the program and follow it exactly step by step. That's just really, really important. And I want you to enjoy the journey. And this is where, again, the program is different. It's not about deprivation. It's not about doing way too much exercise that you learn to hate exercise, you develop a hatred. None of that serves you. Remember, I get fast results, but most importantly, long results, okay? And I'm passionate about motivating people just like you to do these things, to get the right results, and that you then can impact other people. And like I sit here right now, I'm talking to you on this call, and I'm healthy. I'm in a good body shape. I've great confidence, self-esteem, self-image. But the thing is, it wasn't always that way. I love myself right now. I've loved myself for a number of years right now. But, it wasn't always that way. And I just want to share with you briefly. You can see in more depth in the actual book, because it's, I'll share everything about my story. I just want to share a few snippets of it with you right now. But if I go back a few decades, like where it really starts for me in terms of this whole journey, is when I was about 8, 9 years of age. From 9 till 12, I was about 1.5 stone overweight. For those who don't understand stone, that's about 21 pounds. And despite being a kid who was very active, I was always into sports, always outdoors, always playing football and tennis and all kinds of sports. Despite being so active, I still had that 21 pounds, which isn't massively excessive. In the modern world where obesity is huge, that isn't massive. It's not a massive amount of weight. However, for me it was, because remember, it's all personal. And this is where I've said to you a few times so far, your goal, what you want to achieve with your own body, it's what do you want? What's the level you want to get to? Do you want a six-pack, or you just want to be a bit lean and toned? What is it you want? Also at the time, as kids, we grew up, we were eating reasonably healthy. What was typically healthy enough food. I don't like the word diet, so I never use the word diet. I typically try to use nutrition plans. But, from 9, 10 years of age, I started to not like myself, started to hate myself, loathe myself. I had very low self-esteem. It didn't help actually one day that after working for about 2 hours mowing my aunt's lawn, she said to me, what weight was I? I was 7.5 stone at the time. She said, oh my God, that's the same weight I am. You're way overweight. You need to do something about that. You need to lose weight. You need to stop eating and so on. She gave me a huge lecture, and she made me feel terrible after me mowing her lawn for 2 hours. So I wasn't best happy for many reasons after that experience, but it really left a mark on me. I was only 10 years of age, and to be told you're overweight and same weight as an adult, it left its mark. and I really hated myself from that moment on. And when I hit about 12, 13, I changed. I shot up. I went to near enough the height that I am right now, 5'10", 5'11". And at that age, that was quite tall for a kid that age. So I went from being a bit overweight, and at that time as well, kids weren't really overweight, so I would have been one of a few who had a bit of weight at that stage. Of course, there were some bigger, but not many kids had weight back then. But I became very tall. I also went inwards. So I went from being a little bit plump, as a stone and a half, and average height, to suddenly being way taller than everyone else and like a beanpole. And of course, in my own mind, it was way worse. I always compare myself to Mr. Bean. If you know of Mr. Bean, that type of body type, in my mind, that's what I saw. And I still cringe when I see photos of myself from back then. I'm in a good mental state right now. I feel good. I like myself. But it still brings back old memories, old feelings when I see these kind of photos. So my impression of myself was like a scrawny skeleton, like a beanpole. And what made it really hard was I was the type of person that on my own, I was very different to when I was with people. I wasn't fully extroverted, but I used to like to see people happy. So even at that age, if people needed someone to cheer them up, I'd act the clown, act the fool, and make them smile, make them feel happy. Someone needed someone to listen to them. If they had to have a moan or they had a problem, I'd listen, give advice. I was like a trainer back then, even at 9, 10 years of age. But when I used to be on my own, when I'd go home and be on my own in my room, I'd often cry myself to sleep. I spent most of my teenage years, from the age of 10 until about 17, crying myself to sleep, wishing for it all to end. Suicide was very frequent in my mind, very frequent, and I came reasonably close to take my own life a few times. Went beyond the thought, and I was literally on the cusp of doing it, but stopped, thankfully. And, while it was a horrendous time for me, it was crucial. It was crucial in my journey. And I wouldn't be here right now speaking to you, having written this book, giving you the tools to change your life, have that impact on your life in a positive way. I would be doing it. So, everything happens for a reason. And, I've grown to learn that in life in all different. I've had various experiences like this from a body point of view, but lots in professional point of view and in relationships point of view. And everything happens for a reason. And what we need to start doing is embracing experiences. Whether good or bad, there's a learning in them. Okay? So when I hit 12, 13, I suddenly shot up like a beanpole. And then hormones hit. And when your hormones hit and you don't like yourself, you ain't in a good place. And I was in a horrendous place, like living in hell. My impression of what everyone was thinking of me, obviously, in terms of girls, was not good. I had a terrible impression of what was being said and what was being taught when, in reality, none of it was really happening. It wasn't like I was like Quasimodo or the Elephant Man or anything, but in my head I was. And, this is where, again, it matters what you think of yourself. And also that transferred into even sports. I didn't believe I was good enough at anything. I always focused on negatives. I look back now and it's a certain amount of regret, but also sadness that in sports, I know I could have been quite good in a few different sports because I had a bit of talent, but I had no belief. I know if I went back right now with my current mindset and played the sports, it'd be a very different outcome. I'm not saying I'd become professional or anything, but I would have enjoyed it more, would have got a lot more out of it. I would have achieved a decent level. It's like with my son now, that's where I can imprint on him the importance of having a good mindset and open communication and not keeping things to yourself and feeling good in yourself and a healthy, active lifestyle. Because when you get into a healthy, active lifestyle as a kid, it doesn't seem that big a chore when you're older. It just becomes normal. So that's it. I wouldn't believe I'd never really achieve anything. I also wouldn't be good enough for anyone. I wouldn't be attractive to anyone. I found it tough in sports physically, but again, part of that was mentally as well. But I was pushed around a lot because I was so skinny and weedy, as they used to call it. But the most harmful thing for me growing up was that I was so closed. Really, really closed. And, thankfully, as I said, that I'm here still right now. That's all that really matters. And you might think, why am I telling you all this? The reason I'm telling you this type of stuff is I hope some of you can relate to part of my story, or some of it, or even all of it. Some of you might be thinking, God, that's me. And if it is, that's great, because this is a great starting point in this book, and it's a great starting point in your journey to transforming your body, mind, and health. Because, as I said to start, it's about hope. We need hope. And, where some of you might look at me and go, oh, he's in great shape, and he's always in good health, and he helps people over the world, and he does all this and that. if you put someone on a pedestal sometimes, you don't think you can ever get there. Whereas you should be looking at me and think, he's proved it can be done. I can do it too. And that's why I share my story. And I said in the book, I go very deep into it and share a lot. Whereas on this call, I'm just going to do some snippets. So I hope my story does help you a lot. If you're reading it and it's not doing much for you and you don't want to read it all, just skip through it. Go on to section 1, chapter 1. It's up to you. Remember, the book is for you. The book isn't for me. The book is for you. But I just hope that my story will help you a lot, okay? And again, stress the importance of your ideal body shape is whatever you want it to be. So as I said, my journey started at 9. It led up to when I was a teenager, then it ended up going to when I went into college, and college again was where I found alcohol, and alcohol became a massive crutch for me. And that wasn't a good thing. I remember, I used to be out partying 4 or 5 nights a week. I was having a good time. It gave me the false confidence. It gave me that confidence with women that I hadn't without the alcohol, which again wasn't a good thing. I had fun at the time, but again, it was destructive mentally, even from a subconscious level. I had friends who tell me, here, look, you're going to end up in AA if you keep drinking like this. But again, I was coming from a dark place, and that's the reason all this was happening. But again, an important part of my journey. And there's a friend of mine, Dave, good friend. He's still a great friend of mine now, and I'll always be thankful to him. But when we were just in college, he was asking me to go to the gym with him one day. He says, come, let's go to college gym. He just got into training. And I thought, you must be kidding. Me going to the gym, I'm going into a place where there's all these knucklehead bodybuilders, and I'm going to look like an idiot, the scrawny rake lifting 1 kilo dumbbells and struggling, while they're there with their 50 kilo dumbbells and macho and showing themselves off and posing and blah, blah, blah. Because that was my impression of gym. That's what I thought a gym was. So I fobbed him off many, many times. But eventually he kept at me, and thankfully he was so persistent. He was a persistent bugger. And I said once, look, I'll go. But it's more just to shut him up and to stop him bugging me. So I went into the gym. And as I say, the rest is history. I never came out. So at the age of 17, I went in and it became my savior. It became a huge turning point for me. I've had a few different turning points, but it was a big one. Because it got me into a career that I have just loved for over 20 years now. It's got me in a position where I can help people all over the world to regain the control of their body, mind and health. And then feel the impact, feel the catalytic impact that result has on the rest of their life, because it is truly incredible the result it has. I went in, the gym wasn't what I expected, the people weren't what I expected. Of course there's knuckleheads, but there were few and far between. There was many people trying to better themselves. That was it, all trying to better themselves. And I got into it, and between long and short of it, I became quite obsessive. I grew a healthy obsession in the gym. I spent 3 hours there at least every day. People thought I was in sports science. I was in business studies and French with an accountancy major. That was my degree. But I knew straight away once I hit the gym, and within a few months of being in the university, that was my path. I didn't give up my degree, my main degree I was doing. I finished it out and got a good result in it, which was good. And again, it proved to me, look, stick something out and achieve it and don't give up. Never give up. It's something that's been in my mind. It's ingrained in my mind to never, ever give up. And I hope, again, this book, that comes across to you and it impacts you. So you never give up. Where during this program, you're going to feel like giving up sometimes. That's natural, whether it be the nutrition or the exercise or both. Because it's hard to follow something. But never give up. Especially if you've got a dream, you've got a goal. Go do it and don't ever give up on it. So went to the gym, went in, and that then started off my career where I started to do some fitness courses, started working the gym there. But what was frustrating was even after, I think it was 2 years into college, I trained 6 days a week, 3 hours a day, followed what I thought was a healthy nutrition plan. I had good results. I was better shape, looked better, but nowhere near what I wanted. I still had that stubborn layer of fat in my stomach. And for everyone, especially if you're 17 or 18 or 19, you want a six-pack. Again, your hormones are going crazy. You're out partying a lot. Opposite sex is something that you're obsessed with. You want to look good. You want to look like the cover of Men's Health, and especially if you're into fitness and health and you're into the gym. So that was the world I lived in, and nothing was happening. I was like, what the hell? I'm putting all this effort in. How can I put this much effort in and not get the results? There's something seriously wrong here. Then I started to realize when I looked around that practically everyone, definitely most people who had been training all that time, not much difference either. So what's going on here? We're exercising all the time. We're eating healthy. Suppose you exercise more, eat less, you're going to look amazing. That's what you're sold on. Rubbish. This is what started a huge thirst for me to learn what actually worked. When I decided to be relentless in the pursuit of learning the most scientific strategies, of how you can successfully transform your body, lose fat, build muscle, get toned, most importantly reveal your abs. And at that time it wasn't about health as much, it was more about aesthetics and how I looked. That's what I wanted. And that's the thing with this program. In just 6 weeks you can completely transform your body. In metabolic stimulation, that's what it's designed for. You can take from where you are right now to a dramatically better level if you follow the strategies. Remember, I've over 20 plus years of knowledge and daily research going into this and personal experience, okay? So in 6 weeks you can do absolutely amazing. This book basically should become your friend for life, should be a reference guide for you forever, okay? And like I said earlier, you know, I can empathize your predicament. If you're a bit disillusioned, a bit unsure, a bit confused as to how to get in shape, I can empathize because I was there. I spent years exercising, got nowhere, but then I learned what worked. That culminated in 2004 becoming Body for Life champion. And since then I've learned everything possible. And that's why metabolic stimulation system is quite different to my other book. And again, as I said, I train people very differently now. I tell them what my eating program is completely different. That's the area that's changed the most. I've studied in depth about sleep and about hydration, the importance of it. You're going to be blown away about how important hydration is. Something that simple to losing weight and losing it really, really fast. And you know, my personal journey, that was a big part of it. And I've spent the last, you know, I said since then, it's 12 years since 2004, growing a massive fitness business. Then 6-7 years ago, getting into online and coaching people all over the world. And it's been a hell of a journey. And, you know, the most important part of it was that I regained control of my body, mind, and health. And I've continued to regain even more control of it over the last number of years. Because, you know, when I look back, as I said earlier, we used to lead what I thought was a healthy life. We didn't have a healthy life. From a nutrition point of view, you know, what I advise now is so different to the way we used to eat as kids, and even how I used to eat 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. It's very different, and I'll be going in depth in the nutrition section as to what you should eat. So, you know, a few things I used to do as a kid. We used to have chocolate at lunch. We used to have chocolate when we came home from school. We used to have what are they called? Chunkies ice creams. They're a bit like, I suppose, like a Magnum these days. But Chunkies after dinner. We used to go down to the shop. Some of you might remember Chunkies. We used to go to the shop and get it for the four of us, me, my sister, and my parents. I used to actually drink a litre of Coke every single day. Again, I want to tell you these things so that you can relate and see that I haven't always been perfect. Coke, litre every day, chocolate a lot. I used to have cheese sandwiches every night before bed. I loved sitting down watching TV, eating my cheese sandwiches. I used to get takeaway sometimes. I used to have a full fry of everything that you could possibly imagine in a fry every Saturday morning, every Sunday morning watching Soccer AM. That was something I loved, my mother coming up with that fry. But let's go back to the Coke there a second. Nowadays, along with McDonald's and Pringles, it's something I tell people never, ever to have. You know, I always tell people to always have some rewards, have some things you like, you know, break out, have some junk food. But there are 3 things I'm telling you, do not ever have. They're literally poison. You can have so much better stuff. That's not good for you, not healthy, but it's not going to damage you as much as those kind of foods will. Okay, so I hope me sharing a bit of my story there has had some kind of impact on you. Again, let me know in the question chat box. Let me know what you thought. Let me know, is it something that you've enjoyed listening to, or has it bored you even? Same if you're watching this recording. Let me know in the comment section. I want feedback. It's very important for me to get feedback, guys, okay? Just have a quick scan here through the introduction just to see a few other things I want to point out. Another thing that was important actually in my years of frustration was not getting abdominals yet. I was doing thousands of abdominal exercises every single day. I was doing 3 hours of cardio and resistance training. The abdominal chapter is going to be an important one for you to learn that you don't even need to do one crunch. If you don't do one abdominal crunch in the next 6 weeks or even for the rest of your life, you can have a six-pack. It's such a huge myth. You don't need to do abs, and it's actually a complete waste of time doing abdominal exercises. So I'll explain all that then in the abdominal section. So I've said about nutrition. Alcohol was something that was important for me to cut down on. Alcohol is without doubt probably the number one way of gaining fat. If you're drinking a lot of alcohol or drinking it very consistently, it's going to gain a lot of fat. And it's not just because of the alcohol itself, because see, it's not nutrition. It's no nutritional source, so it ends up getting converted to sugar, which gets converted to fat, okay? And when I was drinking 4 or 5 nights a week, that didn't help from all the training I was doing, but then all that excess calories on top of the fact I was eating what I thought was healthy diet, but it wasn't really that healthy. It wasn't a great nutrition plan. But alcohol is a massive one for you to need to work on, okay? Let me just skim through here. So about Body for Life. Again, any questions you guys have, just pop them in there. Okay, cool. So the main thing I want to stress there again to you is, put what I'm going to teach you into practice. Someone here just reading a message. Okay, so I'm going to answer those questions shortly. Right, what I want to do now is just go on to section 1, which is about mindset. We're going to just start touching on it, and then on our second coaching call this week, we're going to be going very deep into mindset. I'm going to take you through a lot of exercises that should have a big impact on you in terms of getting that success mindset. Because when you don't have the right mindset, there's 4 keys, right? There's mindset, exercise, nutrition, and sleep. It's like a formula. And if any of those pieces is not being utilized properly, if you're being slack in any of them, it impacts the results of all the others, okay? Now, nutrition is something that is 80% of results. That gets said a lot, and it's true to a certain degree. But also, if any of the other parts aren't there, results aren't going to happen either. They're going to happen to a minimal level, okay? So really focus on each of the 4 sections: mindset, exercise, nutrition, and sleep. Learn everything you need to know about them and implement what I teach you, okay? There's 2 questions I want to ask you. When, sorry, let me just click something else here. So with this, guys, I had the wrong one open. Now I'm going to go into it. So the first section 1, chapter 1 is called, if you don't know where your final destination is, how can you get there, okay? It's like if you're going to set off on a journey and you haven't really got an idea of where you're trying to get to, you're not going to get there. You're just aimlessly going around and not really getting anywhere. You have to be clear on where you are. And this is why mindset as well. This is why I start with mindset in this book. Because unless you train your mind, as regularly at least as you train your body, you're never going to achieve success. It's never going to be achieved. You can't, because what you believe in your mind and how truly you believe it, that's what determines whether you're going to achieve it or not, okay? Now for me, the fact you're reading this book, the fact you're on this call and watching this video, it's proof that you want a better body, you want to better yourself, and you want a better life. But the thing is, have you taken time to clarify 100% in your mind, and also importantly on paper, what you ultimately want to achieve? Because you need to have this clarity. What is success to you? What is the outcome you want? What's the outcome you want at the end of this book? What's the outcome you want at the end of this program? You need to be specific about it. If you don't really know, it's going to be hard for you to achieve it, okay? You need to be able to describe to me in detail what the reflection is looking back at you out of the mirror when you've achieved your goal. Can you do that right now in detail? If you can't, then you're not going to get there. It's too flimsy. No good saying I want to be in better shape, want to lose the belly, want to feel fitter, want to feel more energy. It doesn't mean anything. It needs to be a lot more specific. Those goals are too wide, okay? And also I would strongly advise you write your goals in ink versus just typing on a laptop or just having it in your mind. When you write down, it's been scientifically proven that the process of physically writing things down, it imprints it a lot more in your subconscious. And that's what's really powerful. It's very important, okay? If you've heard of Think and Grow Rich, or maybe you've read it, Napoleon Hill, it's a great book, and he states in it, which is one of the most used phrases these days now, see, feel, and believe yourself already in possession of your goal. And this is key. So see, feel, and believe yourself already in possession of your goal. Because if you don't see it, if you can't really feel it, and importantly, if you don't believe it, you ain't ever going to achieve your goal. It's so important. You need to be able to visualize your outcome. You need to be able to believe in your ability to achieve this goal. You need to be able to see it. Visualization is absolutely powerful, okay? And it's an exercise I'm going to be impressing upon you how important it is to do it every single day, okay? And the thing is, if you're not clear on what you want, and if you can't visualize your goal, you're going to be already beaten before you even start. This is the problem for most people. It's why so many people spend their entire lives yo-yo dieting and having the same level of success all the time. And that's why they experience failure in weight loss groups or different systems that they join. You know, they were beaten before they even started. Because all that got them there and got them to start, maybe for some of you joined this program, was hope. But if you can get a situation where you really can see it, believe it, and feel it, then you really got some gas going. Then you're really going to achieve your results, okay? But you have to be clear on your desired outcome. You must have laser focus on what it is. Now, you must believe you're going to achieve it. You need to know you're going to make it a reality. Now, none of this is easy, but that's why the first section of this book is all about mindset, because I need to get you in a positive mindset. I need to get you to create a positive mental environment with you. So you're going to achieve success. And in your mind, it becomes a case of when you're going to achieve it, not if you're going to achieve it. And so if I go back to when I won the Body for Life competition, you know, when I made the decision to enter it, I made a decision I was going to not just create my dream body, but I was going to win the competition and become a champion. I decided what I needed to do. I became very precise on what that end result needed to be from analyzing what other winners had achieved. So I decided exact statistics of what I needed to achieve. And I looked at where our starting point was, decided what I needed to do to achieve it, and then did it. It was all very specific, very planned, but I knew exactly what my plan B was. And in the end, I actually beat my plan B. I'd aim to gain about 20 pounds of muscle. I'd gain 26 pounds. I'd aim to lose about 10 pounds of fat. I lost 14 pounds. I aimed for 8% body fat. I got to 5% body fat. That was all just in 12 weeks. But why did it happen? Because I was so laser focused on a point B, on an outcome. I knew what I wanted. And because of that, and because of the positive energy that created, I ended up beating it. And you can do the same. Okay? You need to see yourself. I saw myself as becoming the champion months and months before it was ever announced. I saw myself as a champion before I even started my training. You need to get that belief. And it's not easy. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes, you to prioritize mindset training. You need to do it every single day. It's equally as important as your exercise. Okay? So we need to know what your point B is going to be. Okay? And you probably have never clarified your goals. Have you? Let me know in the chat box. Let me know as a comment below the video. Have you ever really, really clarified your goals and then know what your first step is to get there? And if you don't know that, you haven't done it, this is the first step you need to do before you even think about exercise and nutrition. Your chances of achieving your ideal body shape and optimal health, they really depend on what you do next. And if you get clarity in your goal, you're going to achieve it. If you don't have clarity, how do you expect to achieve it? It's not possible. If you don't know where to go, how are you going to get there? Okay, and even if you have the best tools, the best coaches, the best books like Metabolic Simulation System, it's great having all of them, but if you don't know exactly what you want to achieve, then you can't achieve it. It's just not possible. Okay, so the first step in our Metabolic Simulation System journey is to focus on your point B and deciding exactly what it is. Okay, now you might be surprised I'm not focusing on point A and where you are right now and doing what most people do in coaches and books and programs, and go, what's the pain? What pain are you in? What do you hate about yourself? What do you hate about your life so far? How much pain, and driving on about pain. Because, the old thought process used to be focus on the pain and create that energy to move away from it. But it doesn't. It just creates negative energy. When you focus on pain or anything that's negative or hurtful, it doesn't create positive energy. It creates negative energy. It makes it quite hard to move from it. So with my clients and with you guys, I much prefer to create positive energy. Let's focus forward. Let's focus on the wonderful benefits you're going to achieve from transforming your body. Let's focus on the wonderful benefits you're going to get from regaining control of your body, mind, and health. Think of the lifestyle you're going to have. Think of your relationships, how you're going to make decisions in your professional life. Think of your wealth-creating abilities, everything. Think of your health, your longevity, vitality, everything. It's going to make a huge difference. So we focus on the positive. We always focus forward. That's the way I work with people. And it may be very different than what you're used to, but that's why this works. And I've stressed to you a few times already, Metabolic Simulation System is very different. This book is very different, and it is the most comprehensive book you're ever going to have. Bottom line is negative energy destroys, and in a body transformation scenario, this ensures failure or short-term success, and we don't want either of those. Okay? So, even let's just test this. If you visualize yourself right now in your dream body, use your senses, like really feel it, okay? I want you right now, really feel it. Close your eyes. Feel the energy you get looking at the smile on your face. See yourself in the future. See yourself smiling in your dream body. You know the shape you want to be in. See yourself in that shape. See a smile on your face. Feel the confidence that's oozing out of that person. Feel the confidence that's oozing out of the new you. Now, how good is that feeling? How good does it feel to see that? How good do you feel about yourself? just simple exercise, just doing that, I'm sure will have made you feel a bit better. That's like a few seconds of visualization and just tuning into what you want to achieve. And this is the power of putting focus on positive energy versus going towards negative energy, okay? Our thoughts and actions are all driven by our emotions and feelings. So it's very important that we create the right ones, okay? So what we want to do is make a decision on point B, the outcome. What is it you want to have? It's important you have a clearly defined goal. And what this means is you have a detailed description. You can describe to me in detail exactly what it is you want to see. Detail of what you look like, what's different, body fat levels, tape measures, points or pant sizes, all that kind of stuff. What's specifically the goal? What are you trying to achieve? Number two, have a measurable goal. This just means you can measure it. So, if you're 30% body fat right now and you want to get to 20%, we can measure, are you 20%? If you want to be a certain size pants, if you want to be a certain weight, if you want to have certain energy levels, you want to feel a certain way in the morning, if you want to set a certain fitness or strength challenge, have something that's measurable so we can see what are you right now and how can you achieve it in the future, okay? And have you achieved it in the future? And then realistic, third point, third of three, realistic goal. Now, with this, I don't mean this in terms of realistic expectations, like the perception of other people, what they'll think of your goals. I want you to seriously aim high. Don't let other people put down your goals. Make sure you aim high. Make sure your goal feels uncomfortable. Make sure your goal pretty much nearly feels unrealistic to you. That's a proper goal. When it scares you, that's a proper goal. Okay? So it's like when I started my Body for Life challenge. I had a very skinny, non-muscular body type, and when I wanted to gain so much muscle and lose so much fat and get to such low body fat, that was impossible in the perception of most people. That wasn't possible even in the industry, really. But I believed it was going to happen. And I had proven to smaller degrees in terms of gaining muscle, losing fat, of what I could do, and just made a decision it was going to happen. Now, this is where realistic comes in. If I'd aimed to pack on 50 pounds of muscle in 12 weeks, that's not being realistic. That's being unrealistic. Gaining 26 pounds of muscle in 12 weeks, or my goal at the time of 20 pounds, that was pushing it. So, you have to be realistic to a degree, but don't aim really, really low, okay? And get away from statements like, I want to have a six-pack, I want to get in shape, I want to lose fat, I want to be thinner. Means nothing. You need to be very specific, okay? You need to be specific, like, I want to be 12 stone, 13% body fat, a 34-inch waist, and I want to wake up fresh and awake before my alarm every single morning. It's easy to measure it. Are you 12 stone? Are you 13%? Are you 34-inch waist? Do you wake up fresh? And do you wake up before your alarm each morning? Make sure it's something that you can measure, it's specific, it's clearly defined, it's realistic, okay? Very, very important. I do want you to dream big though. So don't let other people hold back on your goals. Don't let your initial instincts to be kind of safe in your goals. Don't be safe. And to give you an idea of what might be a bit realistic, if you're currently 20 stone or more, or you're 35% body fat or more, your size 40 pants, you're not going to get abs in 6 weeks. It's not realistic. But in 6 months, you certainly can. Now, if on the other end, you're maybe 15% body fat if you're male or 25% if you're female, you can definitely, at the end of 6 weeks, get to where you have lean abs and six-pack, which is under 10% for male or under 18% or so for a female, okay? So it's important for you to get clearly define your goal and make sure it's measurable, make sure it's realistic to a certain degree, okay? And I want you to promise yourself that you're going to commit to doing 5 minutes of visualization every single day. Are you going to commit to that? Again, type into the chat box or put as a comment below the video. Promise me and promise yourself you're going to do visualization, because visualization is a key strategy for creating this mindset. If you want to really see, feel and believe yourself already in possession of your goal, you need to visualize. You need to visualize every single day. So are you going to commit to this? Because you need to, okay? What's also important is for you to focus on your whys. Why? What way is your life going to change? What are the benefits going to be? How is your lifestyle going to be different? So what areas of your life are going to be most positively impacted by your new body shape, positive mindset, optimal health? Write these things down. You're going to have a resources section in the book. So an area you can go to a web link and you can download sheets and charts that you can fill these in. So make sure you do that. Remember I said writing things puts a much bigger imprint on your subconscious than if you just think about it or type onto a laptop. How is feeling confident going to impact your decision making? How is feeling confident, sexy and attractive going to impact your relationships in general and also intimately with your partner, or even in your comfort in making approaches if you're single right now? How will control of your body, mind and health impact your professional life? How is it going to impact your professional ambitions? How is it going to feel to you hitting the beach or, going into the pool in a new lean, sculpted body? Think about these things and write your whys. Like, I want you to take a pen and paper and just write. Think of all the benefits that you can envisage happening as a result of you getting a new body shape and regaining control of your body, mind, and health. And just write until you can't write anymore. And you might have 50, you might have 100, you could have 200 different whys. And then the key thing is that you remind yourself of that, okay? So, you should be feeling quite positive, feeling quite good with this type of approach, taking a positive angle, thinking of the benefits, thinking of your goal, visualization. All these things are really important, okay? And it's important for you to constantly remind yourself of your why list. So read over it every day, read your goal statement every day. I'm really excited about how much your life's going to change just 6 weeks from now. And you should be too. I know right now we might still be in the phase of having a little bit of hope, but I hope what I've shared with you up to this point in this book and in this coaching call, has given you a bit more than hope. It's given you more belief in yourself and belief in me that I can deliver the tools and the strategies and the program that's going to change your life forever. Now, this is going to be the start of a journey that's going to change your life forever. I can promise you that. Make sure you take photos. Photos are powerful for, motivation, also visualization, because if you take a photo of yourself front, back, and side view in a pair of shorts, or if you're female in a bikini or swimsuit, it shows everything. And a photo can't lie and your mind can't alter it. Whereas you can look in a mirror and one day you can think you look amazing, another day you think you could look fat and ugly. So a photo cannot do that. You look at a photo, it tells you fact. That's what you look like. So a photo would be very beneficial. And also, if you were very slim and in shape before, pull out one of those photos and keep it by you all the time. Remind yourself of what you're aiming to get back to. Or if you've never been in shape, create a photo. Why not find in a magazine or online a body shape that you want to achieve and cut it out and put your head on it? Might sound stupid, but these things are powerful. They're beneficial. Make sure you take body fat percentage, take some tape measurements. These kind of things are important. They make a big difference to being able to measure. Remember, it's important to be able to measure your progress. So like right now, you've got two powerful motivation tools. You've got written material like your goals and your why, and you've also got things like your photos to use as motivation, okay? It's important to you to look at your current lifestyle and decide on things that maybe you need to focus on, how to get around them, things you need to change so you can follow through in your program, follow through in your goal. And I'm going to talk to you a lot in this book about planning your 24-hour jigsaw and how to make sure you fit everything in and prioritizing and making sure your exercise, nutrition, sleep, even your mindset training, visualization, how you fit them all in around your current busy lifestyle, because you can do it all. So in terms of the chapter summary, we focused on creating your goal, becoming laser focused, make sure you're writing it down, so make sure you do that. Creating emotional intensity, positive energy towards your goal by identifying your whys and focusing on the wonderful experiences and benefits you're going to get at the end of the program. I've told you about taking your before photo and how important that is, and I advise you to take one every single Sunday. Same with your measurements. And also that you need to identify aspects of your current lifestyle that you need to plan around and work around. So you might need to change certain habits, or you just need to work the program around habits that are ingrained in your lifestyle, like work. If you work 9 to 5, you work 9 to 5. You can exercise in at 12 or 1 or 2 or 3. Okay, so that's going to be key for the program. All right, just a couple of questions I'm going to answer that have been coming in, and also they've come in here on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook while we're on the call and also before it. I'm just going to cover a few of these because I'm conscious we've gone over the hour now, and I hope that's been beneficial. Give me some feedback, guys. Have you enjoyed this call? It's the first of our calls, of our 2 calls this week, and the first for 12 calls over the next 6 weeks. So let me know some feedback. If you enjoyed it, has it been beneficial? What has been your main takeaway from it? Put it into the chat box, the question box. Let me know what your main, number one takeaway has been from this call. How to unbloat before holidays. I understand it's too soon to lose drastic fat. How to firm up a bit. How to unbloat, we're going to cover a lot about that when we go through detoxing, about hydration. We're going to cover a lot about the exercise, the nutrition, all those aspects, even sleep. They're all going to make a big difference. But how to unbloat, most important thing to do is detox. Detox your body, flush it out, get rid of all the toxins. Most bloatedness is due to acidity in your stomach. Most fat on your belly is just acidity. So your diet, your nutrition plan is mainly acidic. So you're creating more fat cells as protection. Your body naturally protects itself, protects its vital organs when you're consuming a mainly acidic based plan. So you just need to get more alkaline, you need to drink tons and tons of water. The water chapter is going to be very important to you to understand how that flushes you out. But just by following the water guidelines, the detox guidelines, and the other stuff with exercise nutrition, we're going to be covering that probably in week 2. We'll cover those aspects in terms of our coaching calls. But again, keep the questions coming. But water, becoming more alkaline, eating healthier, detoxing, like lots of water is a big detox, or going on smoothies for a few days. So that'll help you to unbloat big time and also lose a lot of fat and actual fat, because a lot of detoxes and plans that are out there, you're not losing a lot of fat, you're losing a lot of muscle and water. Okay? So that's that one. Next question. What foods to avoid versus what to eat? Again, that's a pretty broad question. But foods to avoid versus what to eat. Quite simply, foods to avoid would be like your junk foods, your very high fat foods. Now I mean bad fats. So good fats is avocados, nuts, nut butters, and use oil sparingly because they're very condensed fat. But bad fats like junk foods, takeaways, convenience meals, processed food, sweets, cakes, biscuits, confectionery, ice cream, all that kind of stuff. Very heavily fried foods. They're the things to they're the stuff to cut down on or even eliminate. I do tell people to, and I tell you guys, make sure you incorporate a reward day, and notice the wording: reward, not cheat. Reward is positive, cheat is negative. So focus again always positive language. But your reward day to have something that you like. Like for me, I love ice cream, I love cake, tart, that type of stuff. So I'll always have desserts. It could be cookies and ice cream or something like that as my treat, my reward meal every single week. So focus on cutting down the bad foods and good foods to eat. Every kind of vegetable, every kind of fruit, all your grains, your legumes, all those kind of things are fantastic. So eat more of those foods. What exercise should you be doing? Again, very, very broad. 1, you need to be exercising, and 2, you need to be doing cardiovascular exercise and resistance, not one or the other. 3, you need to focus on doing HIIT or interval type training with the cardio, and resistance, you need to be focusing on doing stuff like peripheral heart action. That's where you work upper body, lower body, alternating in the circuit style, or an intense form of resistance training. Like in the resistance training chapters and the cardio chapters and the exercise in general, I'll be going in depth about what you need to do, how to work it. But the 3 main principles, just to give you a bit of information, is intensity means go to your max, always push yourself right to your limit. Progression, every single workout you do, you can progress. Physically, we're able to, once we've had the right nutrition to repair our body cells and the proper sleep to again recover. And muscle confusion, constantly changing. Like this program, Metabolic Stimulation System, you're doing something different every single day. A different workout every single day for maximum muscle confusion, because I want you to get the fastest results possible. And also what that's going to do is it's going to keep you stimulated in terms of variety, because you're going to love variety. Okay, so I hope that's answered that. I know they're brief enough answers to those questions, but I'm doing that because future coaching calls are going to cover them in depth, and the book itself goes in depth as well. What I want to stress to all of you guys is, make use of the support. For the 6 weeks, you've unlimited support. You can contact us by email, by Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube message, LinkedIn, anything, any method whatsoever, whatever method works for you. Make use of the support. Okay, we're here to help you and support you and educate you in every way we possibly can. So make sure, make use of it. Get on our coaching calls live as much as you possibly can, or make sure you watch the recordings. Make use of resources like the Dave Home Workout System. Educate yourself through that, and also through Go Vegan Grow. Try the different recipes, hundreds of recipes you've access to on Go Vegan Grow and Dave Home Workout System. And just enjoy the whole process. Remember, this is the start of a wonderful journey for you. And I have no doubt that you're going to have incredible results at the end of these 6 weeks. But the level of results is dependent on how much effort you put in. If you give this everything, you're going to have an incredible transformation. If you give it 10%, you'll have a 10% transformation. Okay? So that concludes this week 1 coaching call 1. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed it. Keep giving me your feedback. Love to hear your feedback. Put in the private group as well. Love for you to go into our private Facebook group and let me know what you thought about it, if you enjoyed it and stuff. And just as well, keep telling people about Metabolic Stimulation System. Tell them about the book, how they can get it, and also tell them about this program. Help us to grow our community, because this is the best program that's out there. I can guarantee you that. The best program there is for regaining control of your body, mind, and health, for transforming your body shape, for getting more energy, for for having vitality and longevity, and to impact every single area of your life. Take care, take action, focus always on taking positive, progressive action. I look forward to speaking to you on coaching call 2 of this week 1.